Hello friends, this is Worm, depending on who you're asking, and today I wanted to talk about the whole boycotting of this event that's coming, the Solstice event. I almost called it Guardian Game, sorry. But the whole idea of boycotting the Solstice event, because I think there's two trains of thought that people have, and I'm going to talk about both. I'm going to talk about kind of the positives and negatives of each side and just give my overall thoughts on this boycott. So of course, for those of y'all who haven't heard, players are talking about boycotting buying anything for silver from the Eververse store during this event. And this stems from, I would believe, Astacross's video where he talks about Destiny becoming a microtransaction hell. And it's, yeah, I mean, players have come up with this idea that, hey, you know what, we're gonna put our foot down, we're gonna boycott it, we're not gonna spend any silver. So I'm guessing Bright Dust is okay. I would assume whenever the people say they're not going to spend silver, they say, you know, Bright Dust is fine. But they're talking about not spending any silver on this during this event. And this will hopefully open Bungie's eyes to, you know, the players are tired of it. And that's, you know, it's going live here in what, like 40 minutes or something like that. If, of course, there's no downtime, which, you know, we know how Bungie is. But the two trains of thought are the players who are going to actually follow through with this, right? They're going to say, hey, I am not going to spend any silver. I will only use Bright Dust, you know, to buy cosmetic items, and stuff, you know, the new armor set, the new blah, 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 whatever, right? And then there's the other players that are like, no, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter what you do. There are still going to be players who buy the game or buy stuff from the Eververse store, so you not buying anything is not going to make a difference, which means that I'm just going to buy stuff if I want to buy it, right? And that's kind of the two trains of thought. Now I'm going to start with the first one here, which is the players who have adamantly decided they're not going to spend money on it. First of all, of course, it is a very, very that's a strong thing to do. I mean, I think that it doesn't, like, I say it's a strong thing to do, but there are already literally tens of thousands of players who have not spent $1 of silver in Destiny 2. I think that Dado, in one of his videos kind of recently, he talked about the fact that he has not spent $1 on silver in Destiny 2's lifetime, right? And so, you know, these players who are like, oh, we're not going to spend any money on silver, mind you, to backtrack real quick, the players who are saying this are probably truly hardcore veterans, right? Players who are saying, I'm not going to spend any silver on this, are really, really hardcore players, right? Because hardcore players are the ones that are aware of boycotts. You know, your average casual Joe that plays this game, you know, for 2 or 3 hours a week probably is not aware of this whole boycott to buying silver, right? So the average, you know, or not the average player, sorry, the veteran hardcore player like me or like you who's probably watching this video, you know, we can say, hey, you know, we're not going to buy anything for silver, you know, and that's that, and we'll make a stand, we'll speak with our wallets, right? But there's already tens of thousands of people who unconsciously make the same decision not to spend money, right? And so I guess it's we're trying to make this grand effort. I think that there's not going to be too much of a change for Bungie because, like, I mean, the veteran players aren't really who they're targeting with this stuff. Like, they know that the veteran players have a ton of Bright Dust. I'm sitting on like 50,000 Bright Dust right now because I don't spend Bright Dust on stuff that I don't really like. You know, like this previous week, or I guess technically for the next 40 minutes this week, they have the Dreaming Clarity ornament from Monte Carlo. I bought that because it's absolutely fantastic. Pay to win. Per Astacross, not me. But, you know, we have the likelihood of us veteran players having a ton of Bright Dust to buy the sets and stuff that we want is really high. You know, so Bungie's not targeting us. They're targeting individuals who don't play the game very much, who see this, who have money. I mean, literally, they need 10% of the population to buy stuff from the cosmetic store, and that's enough to justify it, right? Because, you know, I don't want to say it takes no time, but like, how much time does it take to develop new armor sets? Like, how much time does it take in you know, somebody sitting down with a pen and paper, drawing up the ideas, giving it to the art team, you know, puts it, you know, out there as a you know, prototype or whatever the term is called, who then gives it to design team puts it in the game. How much time is spent there versus how much money did they actually need to recuperate that amount that was spent? You know, and Destiny has a massive player base. Even, like I said, 10% of the players spend, you know, just $10 on silver. That covers it. You know, that covers Bungie. But the players who are putting their foot down saying no, like, that is, I applaud you for doing it, but I don't necessarily think that it's something that many people are really going to change, right? I mean, if you think about it, I think the only event I have ever spent money on was the last Guardian games, and I bought the event pass because the shader looked really cool. I really like that shader, right? That's the only reason I bought it. I spent $10 on the shader, but I have money to do that, so it's okay. But every other event in Destiny's history, I have only used Bright Dust. You know, so the players that are saying, oh, like, I'm going to not spin my bright, or not spin silver, probably weren't going to spin silver in the first place. They're probably going to spin Bright Dust. Now, the other side, the other argument side of things are, of course, the players who say it doesn't matter what you do, like, people are still going to buy it, so might as well buy it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and, you know, like, not buy something to boycott it because I don't want to miss out on something potentially really cool if I'm not going to make a difference. And these players, like, I hate saying it, but I really do sympathize more with these players, because the reality of it is the 10% that it takes to actually buy these to keep it in game is never going to see this video, is never going to see, you know, Astacross's microtransaction video. I mean, if you think about how many players play this game versus how many players actually, like, watch content for this game and you know, are into the lore, into the whatever part of this game, it's really low, right? And that's how it is with every game. You know, your casual players, for example, like, I casually play Call of Duty. I don't watch Call of Duty videos on YouTube, like, at all. You know, I don't follow any Call of Duty YouTubers or anything like that, because Call of Duty is not my hardcore game. Like, I am a very casual Call of Duty player, and there's some other games I play casually, but think about the games that you play pretty casually. Like, do you watch content on them? Do you you know, look up videos talking about, you know, the state of the game and stuff like that? Or do you not do that? Tell me in the comments, because I'd really like to know. But for me, I don't watch content for games I don't play on a regular basis. It's the same thing with Destiny. Destiny players who play casually, they're not going to go out and watch videos and stuff on Destiny 2. They're not going to see the microtransaction hell. They're not going to be on media seeing, oh, there's this boycott of the Eververse store and stuff like that. You know, and so they're still going to spend the money on it. They're still going to be the ones that fund Bungie and make Bungie basically, you know, the money that they need to justify keeping it in game. Because I think a lot of players I don't want to say misunderstand, but you know what? They misunderstand how microtransactions work. They think, oh, well, you know, if enough players boycott buying this, you know, then it'll work. It's not that simple, because enough players, like I said, literally 10% of the population, and that's probably a generous number. I bet you Bungie could, if they could get 5% of the population to buy something from the Eververse store during Guardian games, it's going to be considered a win for them, right? Like, that's how it is. Okay, because these things, they cost money to make, but the amount of money that they make off of them is much better, or is much more than what it costs to put into them, I should say. And it requires much less of a basis of people buying them to cover those costs, right? And that's kind of that's simple business. Like, you don't make something that, okay, like, if we make X product, you know, we have to have 90% of people buy it to make our money back. No, like, you know, it's you make something that will cover itself after 5%. Anything after 5% is just profit, right? And I'm sure that more than 5% of players are going to spend money on the Eververse store during this, you know, during this event that's coming up, right? And like I said, like, yes, we can boycott it, we can put our foot down, but if it doesn't actually change anything, which it probably won't, like, unless you share this video with all of your casual friends and they share with all their casual friends and it spreads like wildfire, not this video, but any video out there, like, talking about boycotting or any post on media that talks about boycotting it, it's not gonna work, because like I said, there's always that 5% that's going to spend the money to buy stuff. Okay, it's the way it's gonna happen, you know. But yeah, those are kind of my, I guess, my thoughts on it. You know, obviously the players that are boycotting, like I said, I don't really know what you're boycotting. You probably weren't going to spend silver anyways. You were probably going to spend Bright Dust because you're a veteran player. And the players that are not participating in the boycott, I mean, honestly, there's nothing that's going to stop you from not participating. You know, there's no reason to. Like, if you don't participate, or if you do participate in the boycott, it's not going to change anything. Unless literally 100% of people that play Destiny 2 don't spend money on silver during this event. Now, as for a side thought here, yes, Astacross in his video from however long ago talks about, events being this highly monetized, thing, and it doesn't even feel like an event. I 100% agree with this. I mean, literally, if we didn't have new stuff for sale in the store, right, we would have a neat new armor set, and we'd have a neat little activity, the European Aerial Zone. It does not feel like an event. The closest thing I could say that felt like an event would maybe be like Guardian games, because Guardian games, like, it's this class competition, but there's no rewards really for it. It doesn't feel like normal events. Like, think about events from other games. You have this really awesome theme, which, yes, like Guardian games has a neat theme to it, I'm not gonna lie, but then you have, super special game modes and stuff, and there's reward tiers that you can unlock, and like, yeah, we have the armor set, but like the armor set that everybody wants, which is the actual like subclass glow armor set, is locked behind a paywall. The really cool ornaments that you can get are locked behind paywalls. Like, it would be different if there was, in your event pass, if as you leveled it up, you unlocked armor pieces, you unlocked weapon ornaments. Like, that would be a whole different story. Like, I would totally be on board for that. That would feel like a true event. But the stuff that you get from the event pass is like a sparrow, like a ghost shell. Like, you might get a shader, which is, shaders are awesome, don't get me wrong, but like, there's no ornaments, no exotic weapon ornaments, no really, really cool legendary ornaments. What, white glow, I don't know about y'all, but white glow doesn't do it for me, but yeah, I don't know. That's kind of my thoughts on that, on the people that are boycotting, the two sides of it. As for me personally, I don't plan on spending any silver. I'm not actively like boycotting it because, like I said, like it's just not gonna work. I don't plan on spending silver on it though. Like, I have enough Bright Dust. I'm just gonna use Bright Dust to buy the ornaments and stuff like that. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I know that there's a lot of you that are probably actively pro boycott, which I'm not against the boycott. Okay, I'm definitely not against the boycott. Like, if you don't want to spend money on it, don't spend money on it. If you want to not spend money on it to make a point, do that. Like, that's great. I'm not gonna spend silver on it. I'm not, it's ironic because I'm not pro boycott necessarily, but I'm also not really going to spend money on it unless they like come out with an absolute banger of a shader, but that shader is going to have to be killer. And we've seen from Solstice events before, I don't think shaders are really that great in the Solstice events, but I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments on what we talked about. Are you pro boycott? Are you anti boycott? Or are you somebody who's just like, like, I'll spend money if there's something cool, but it doesn't matter if I boycott it or not, because players are going to give Bungie the money they need. 5% of the people are going to buy stuff. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, of course, drop a like, as it does help out the channel. Subscribe for more daily Destiny content, because we talk about stuff like this all the time over here. And yeah, do me a favor, watch the video you see on the end screen, because for whatever reason, YouTube thinks you will like it. I'll see y'all in the next one.